So good morning. This morning is off to an extremely hectic start because Chile is entering winter time, which means there's an hour time difference, but Punta Arenas doesn't do it. So my phone thinks that when it's 7, it's 6 and wanted to get my alarm off at 7 because my phone thinks it's 6, but it's already 7 here. They were supposed to pick me up at 7. I was outside at 7:07. They picked me up between 7 and 7:35, so I'm really hoping they're still coming. But I've had no breakfast. I just put on the first clothes that I could find, so I'm hoping I'm warm enough. I did bring my camera, but this is a mess. So the company that I'm going with just texted me and said that they are also late and delayed. So they're still coming, so the tour's definitely happening, but this was a very stressful morning. I've made it onto the ferry. This one's about 2 hours. The wind is crazy, but this one takes about 2 hours and goes to Provia, which is the other side of Punta Arenas. And from there it's about an hour and a half to Pinguin National Park, where we'll be seeing penguins. And I think I've been told, and I think I read somewhere, that there's 2 penguins that settled there and never left. So I think I'm gonna see them. That would be really cool. But I think I'm gonna head inside because it's way too cold out here. And take you along for the rest of the day. Let's go see some penguins. Just visited an instancia with shipwrecks. Very interesting place. It's completely abandoned, and now we're headed back to Punta Arenas. Okay, so this is not a look. I just got back from the tour. I'm back at the hostel and I still have a dorm room to myself because I have no roommates, but I'm not complaining. The tour just ended. I think it ended, I just ate, so it ended like an hour ago. So I got back at around 7:38ish. I would say that's probably about 12 hours, not the 14 that they said it would, so that's pretty good. You do a lot of driving for 1 hour with the penguins, I'm not gonna lie. 12 hours and 1 hour of that was with the penguins, but it was worth it. Basically you still have to pay the entrance fee, which is 15,000, so about 15 euros, and that means that the 80 euros that you pay, or the 80,000 Chilean pesos that you pay, is pretty much towards the ferry and like the car and being driven around, or the van and being driven around. They lead you to a place for lunch. I was way too seasick to eat anything, so I skipped it. But I never really liked that because you feel obliged to buy something, and if I had felt like not seasick, I would have. Then they drove us to the park. We had about an hour there. I got some really cool footage. They were super cool. And I will say, it's called Penguin Ray. Not sure if it's national park or whatever, but there weren't as many penguins as I was hoping, I guess, but there were still many of them. And I really like the way they did this. Like, in Ushuaia, when I did the boat tour, we got way too up close and personal. They were running away from us and we were chasing them when we should have stayed away. But like, I'm not driving the boat, so who am I to talk? But here you have to enter and you have to clean your feet, like clean your shoes, so you don't bring any bird diseases in or out with you. So you do it on the way in and on the way out. On top of that, you are not allowed to go in without a ranger. They make the rules very clear. They will tell you something about like the penguins and everything, but they also tell you a few things about like the park and how to behave. On top of that, you're not allowed to come very close to them. So at one point a penguin came towards us, so we were obviously quiet, and eventually she told us like, oh, you guys just take a step back, you know, we're getting, or like the penguin's getting too close to us, so we just had to move back a little bit, which was fine because you could still see it very clearly. And it was so cool, so cool. I don't know what it is about penguins. Like, the ones that I saw in Ushuaia were nice, but I have a stuffed animal of a penguin, and it's a king penguin. So like, my thought of a penguin has always been the one that I had, or I still have it, but like the stuffed animal that I have. And they were cool in Ushuaia, but the penguins were just insane. And they're divided in two groups. So you've got one group of singles, which is penguins who are singles, don't have a mate, don't have kids or like babies or whatever, and they are separated during the day, and then at night they will join the rest of the colony because they're strength in numbers. So the other group is like families, I suppose. They are chicks. They are about 2 months old right now, so they still have their like fluffy feathers, and they're so cute and so adorable, and they're just like a ball of fluff. I don't think I will ever shut up about today. Yes, it was a lot of money. Yes, it was a lot of driving, but oh my gosh. I think highlight of the entire travel year, not gonna lie. I don't understand, like half the group was older women. They just left after we saw the first group of penguins. I'm like, you just spent 6 hours getting here and now you're leaving after like 5 minutes. But who am I to judge? I saw the penguins, got some really cool shots. I'm very, very happy. Life's good. I have 0 plans for tomorrow, so I'm gonna figure that one out, and I will see you tomorrow.